Hey there, it's Mandee Montana. Are you taking great care of your skin? You know I use great products. I take my vitamins and I drink plenty of water, but I could be better about applying sunscreen daily and making sure my skin is protected against premature aging. What about you? Well, I've got great news. I have a solution. It's the new Premium Diamond Glow Treatment at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. I love it. I went recently and it exfoliates and hydrates your skin at the same time. Amazing, right? My skin feels so soft and silky after. You have to try it. If you've never had a facial before, they have different options at Hand and Stone, like hydrating and brightening. But if you're struggling with dark spots, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, sallow skin, enlarged pores, or maybe oily skin, this is the treatment for you. If you want your skin to glow and look and feel amazing, book the Diamond Glow. Schedule now by visiting Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Welcome to the Celebrating Women podcast, hosted by Mandee Montana, a podcast that celebrates women, their stories, their struggles, and ability to overcome. Conversations that celebrate their gifts, their talents, and courage. It's the Celebrating Women podcast, presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. With over 20 massage therapists and 6 estheticians certified and trained in multiple protocols, you can get an affordable massage or facial located right here in the East Texas area. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Welcome back to the Celebrating Women podcast. I'm Mandee Montana with my special guest today, Miss Rosi Brown. Hi, Rosi.
Hey, friend. How are you?
I'm doing so well. It's so good. We're on Zoom, so I get to see you and hear you today, and it's just such a delight. We've known each other for what, about 6 or 7 years now?
6 years, yeah.
So we met through network marketing. And what's so crazy about that is I feel like so many people that I have met through that have become like extended family. It's not just like a business partner. It is that. And I do love being in business with you, but you are so much more to me than that. And I have been watching you on your personal fitness journey with 75 Hard for the last couple of months. And I am so stinking proud of you for completing it.
Thank you so much. You are one of my biggest supporters and prayer warriors. I couldn't have done this without you.
Oh, well, thanks, Rosi. I definitely was cheering you on from the sidelines for sure. It's something that I've never attempted because it does look really hard. So tell me what inspired you to do it.
Well, we can do hard things,
Yes,
right?
we can. Yes,
So,
we can.
you know what? When I started my journey 5 years ago with Singular, and that just laid out the perfect foundation.
Mm.
Community of you guys just loving on me, supporting me. And for 5 years, I've been doing it and coaching other people. But it's so easy to pour into so many people. And then you kind of forget about yourself and you kind of get in this place where you're just comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely was not leveling up. However, from the outside, it might have looked like I was like, yeah, I'm doing the things. I wasn't really doing the things consistently, right? So I just knew that I needed to make a change. I needed to level up. I mean, Monday through Thursday, I was doing great.
I hear that.
However, my personal life, my spiritual life, all the things, it was lacking. And I needed to really hone in on those things and just start habit stacking. So when I ran into the information about 75-day hard, I was like, that's for me. I have to do it. And I got so much good feedback and negative feedback and people going, that's not realistic. Why would you set yourself up for failure? Well, that just fueled me even more.
Ooh.
I'm doing this. You know who I am. I'm going to do this. Right. And so really it's, those that are listening that don't know what 75 days.
Tell us what it is.
It is a mindset shift. It is about mental toughness, right? It's not a fitness challenge, but it does include physical things, lifestyle components. Basically, you follow a healthy eating plan. My eating plan had always been like low carb, and I wanted just something different. So I stuck with whole foods,
Mm,
which I was eating healthy before, but I was living La Vida Loca on the weekends. I would eat meal on Friday, but then it would spill over to Saturday and
mm,
Sunday,
I
so as
do.
all starting over. So following a healthy meal plan, complete 2 45-minute workouts. One of those has to be outdoors.
Mm.
I thought that would be the most challenging thing, but the habit I created was walking 45 minutes after dinner.
Oh,
You could
that's
do,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
But this weather threw in some
I
surprises,
bet.
rain with sleet, with Arctic cold weather. Oh my word. So I have a covered porch. I was out there doing body weight exercises, or I would have a dumbbell and just doing goblet squats, doing curls, doing stretching, whatever, just moving,
Mhm.
So that wasn't hard. I just made it work. So developing that habit of walking every evening after dinner, I love it. That was my Jesus time. That was my time to decompress. So I'm on day 81. Woo! Going. So I love it. Another thing is drinking a gallon of water. Well, I've been doing that for the past 5 years.
Mhm.
Really a challenge, but I do know if you drink from a pretty cup, you'll drink more water. So get you a pretty cup. Reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book. That was the biggest challenge for me. Huge, because I like listening to podcasts. I like audibles. I just listen to everything. So the challenge about reading 10 pages a day meant I was going to slow down
Mhm.
physically, like open a book and read. I'm not a great reader yet, but I am enjoying reading because of this challenge. My friend Leslie had given me this great 100-day devotional, still going on it. It's called Embraced. It's 100 devotions to know God. It's holding you close. Oh my goodness, it is so good. I read several books. I'm actually almost finishing up on my fifth book. You guys, I'm not a reader and I'm reading books. So that's been one of the biggest growths is just pouring into myself spiritually, with the devotions and in reading mindset books or health books, self development. Another great read is Healthy Body or Heal Thy Body by our good friend Diana Wallace.
Mm, yes.
Chapter 6 got me. It stopped me in my tracks. I won't tell everything about the book, but in order to move forward, if you've ever hit a plateau in your business, in your life, somehow in your wellness journey, there is one thing that you need to cover to get past it. And I won't tell you. Oh,
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to get the book. No one's going to guess it, but it's something within your heart that you need to uncover. That was the ticket. Oh, my word. And another friend, Jamie Simonet, wrote a book called Jesus, Thank You for My Life. I read it. It just now got printed.
Oh,
So I
really?
read the rough copy and before all the edits. Oh my goodness, it is so good. And that is life changing. It was life changing to read. And I'm not just saying because she's my friend and I know her and love her, but this book is really good and it's going to change some lives, just like Diana's book here. So those are some of the few books that I did read. Another one, The 25 Biblical Laws of Success.
Mm.
This was great. I read it a few years ago. I thought I'm going to dust it off because I really need to dig into it again. And there were chapters I read and I was like, I don't even remember reading this before. So, yeah, those are just a few good reads that I had. And, it really helped me doing this. It helped me just propel my spiritual life, my business, coaching other people, making money and helping people make money, right? Also, in my journey, I had to take progress pictures. So I know you've seen me taking a picture and saying day 45 of 75, and now I'm putting day 81 of 75. And so many people are like, oh my goodness, I've been watching you since day one and looking for the picture, and you kept showing up and showing up. So I just had a friend reach out and she's like, I'm going to do it. I tried it 2 years ago and I failed miserably. And I'm like, you know what? It's just about habit stacking. You can get past a week. A week was hell week. You're just trying to get everything done. And it's really not about perfection, but just being consistent
Mm.
in your habits. And so she's going to go for it. But I just love that I had this impact that I was not even ready for. And it just it blew me away, the people that it touched and that are wanting to do this.
Yeah.
So I encourage anyone to go for it. There are different levels of 75 hard. There's a soft, there's a medium. Grace wins, you guys. It's not
Mm,
about perfection,
right.
right? So some people thrive off of maybe having a cheat meal on, once a week, or maybe occasionally having a drink,
Mhm.
once a That's one other thing. Like I'm not a big drinker, right? I'll have a sip on a margarita or whatever once a week. But when that turned into having a drink on a Friday night during a cheat meal, having a drink on a Saturday evening at home, having another drink Sunday evening. And my husband was like, babe, it's Sunday evening. What are you doing? But I'm relaxing. Take
Mhm.
it off. Well, I mean, it's Sunday evening. That turned into a problem, And I thought, I don't even need this. So I have not had a sip of alcohol in 81 days. I didn't need it before. I kind of read up on the effects of alcohol, even just a sip occasionally here and there, how far that sets you back and what it does to your body as far as inflammation. And I'm like, I don't even need that. So to take the edge off, I get moving.
Mm.
I get to reading, paying attention to what I listen to, what words come out of my mouth, what I watch. It makes a huge difference. Your circle makes a difference. So really I had to evaluate, what am I exposed to every day?
Hey, friends, it's Mandee. Have you ever wished for a protein drink that's light, refreshing, and crystal clear? Well, the wait is over. Zingular's Clear Protein Plus is finally here with 20 grams of grass fed whey protein isolate, zero artificial sweeteners, and powerful digestive enzymes. This isn't your typical protein shake. It's clean, smooth, and easy on your stomach. Plus the flavors, blue raspberry and frosted lemonade. So good you won't even believe it's protein. I love how refreshing and hydrating it is, especially after a workout or a busy day. No fillers, no bloat, just clean, high quality protein. Want to be one of the first to try it? Order now by clicking the link in show notes. Zing with Mandee. Subscribe and save to snag 10% off on this and all future subscription orders. Plus, use my code Zing with Mandee, all one word, to save $10 off your first order. It's all in the show notes. That's Zing with Mandee, XYNGWITHMANDEE. Zing with Mandee to save $10 off your first order. Click the link in show notes. Don't miss out on hitting those daily protein goals. The future of protein is clear. Yeah, I have a friend. She shared a quote with me years ago, and I had it on a sticky note right on my computer monitor for years, and it said, choose your exposure,
Yes.
because it is a choice.
Yeah.
All of these things are choices, and I love that you've simplified it by talking about habit stacking. I know you mentioned 3 of the books that you read. I'm curious because I know that James Clear in Atomic Habits talks about habit stacking. Did you also read that one?
Okay, I'm reading that one.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
It's such a great book. I think I like to listen as well as read. I have a physical copy of that book because I loved it so much, but I've listened to it on Audible, I think 3 times now. But I listened again in January because I saw one of our mutual friends, Robin, was doing a book club, and that was the book of January for her book club that she's doing. And I thought, you know what? This would be a really good time to revisit the principles in that book because it's great reminders that everything, like our life is full of patterns and habits. Some of
Right.
them are good for us and some of them are bad for us. But if you don't have an awareness of them, then you can't shift, right? You can't reduce the things that are maybe negative and enhance the things that are positive. So I love that you took these 75 days to have that real focus and awareness of, I've got to do this. So, Rosie, what made you say now is the time to do 75 hard, though? Like, what made you decide 81 days ago that you wanted to do it then?
Because every Monday we're starting over. Every
Mm, yeah,
starting over. I thought I'm tired of starting over. I'm not
yeah.
going to start Monday, which I don't even know what day. It was actually December 26th. It's
Okay.
like Christmas. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm going for it. I'm not waiting till a Monday or when the time is right or after this person's wedding or after this ceremony.
I love
There's
that.
things going on
Always.
all the time. And there's not really a right time. It's now. Let's
Mm-hmm.
going right now. So I had several, like 2 weddings, a graduation ceremony, all out of town. One of them being in Austin. Well, all the foods. I'm a foodie. I love food, but I still got to enjoy the time there. I just mentally prepared that, okay, I'm going to eat this. And I fast tracked and was like, okay, we're going to eat here. Here's the menu. And this is what I'm going to choose.
Oh, I think that's brilliant. That's one of my favorite tips for when people are trying to follow any kind of health plan is whatever you're doing, have a plan. And if you
Right.
know you're going to be eating at a restaurant, look at the menu ahead of time and make a decision before you even get there so you're not in that paralyzed, I don't know what I'm going to do phase where it's real easy to choose something that you wouldn't have chosen if you were in or like you get too hungry and then oh I want all the things. I'm going to order appetizers and I'm going to order dessert and I'm going to order drinks and I'm just going to, I think it's easy when you're hungry when you've allowed yourself to, not feel full consistently to then make those choices too. So I love that you planned ahead.
Right. Right. Yeah. I just had to make that mindset shift
Mhm.
of not restricting, not feeling like I'm restricting myself,
Right.
but I am fueling my body to perform and to think and, make good decisions in business and like every day. I
Yeah.
get up at 4 a.m. and I go to bed at 8. And those were kind of the changes I had to make. Before we got up at 4:30, we went to bed at 9. I didn't feel like I was sleeping enough and I couldn't complete my workouts in the morning. So that Michael and I, we own and operate a 24-hour gym. We would get there and of course everybody knows us and we're visiting or whatever. And I would just go through the motions. I worked out, but not really hard. But
Yeah.
then it was just like, okay, if we can get up 30 minutes earlier, we can get there before most people get there. We can tidy up, clean up the things in 30 minutes and then hit our workout, complete it, get home. Right. And that's what was happening. It was like 30 minutes earlier.
Man, it makes such a big difference.
Right. And I think one of my girlfriends, she's like, you wake up early already. How can you wake up? Well, I'm doing it and I
Mhm.
feel so much better and I'm rested. I get REM sleep. I have this aura ring and it tracks my sleep. I'm getting really good sleep.
Alcohol can affect that too. I've been working with a personal trainer off and on for about, I don't know, 14 months now. I kind of do small group training, but he's still around and we still kind of talk. And one of the things that we talked about when I first started training was how much alcohol impacts your fitness, but also your sleep. Like, even just like you were talking about, even a very small amount of alcohol can really disrupt how you sleep at night. And I think we all take for granted how important rest is.
Yes.
It's how
Sleep.
we heal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sleep is vital. I'm not a happy person if I don't get my sleep,
Same.
So I had to create that habit of getting up earlier,
Mhm.
go to bed earlier. We go to bed at 8 and before it was 9 o'clock. And that was early, but I would fight to make it to 9. Like I was so exhausted.
Mhm.
Why am I pushing myself to stay up till 9? I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
going to because my job, my work, my daily everything, it's physical, it's mental, it's emotional. It's all the things because I deal with people face to face.
Mhm.
I am basically a cheerleader all day long, and I love it. I love it. And it's so awesome to be involved in a company that pays me to be healthy and pays me to help other people be healthy.
Yes. And then pays other people to, I mean, even more so because then you're teaching other people how to make money
Yeah.
doing the same thing. It's exponential value there. I'm so grateful that I got involved when I did. I wasn't looking for it. It sort of found me. I was looking for a solution to a problem, but I
Right.
wasn't looking specifically for this company. It was such a divine appointment. It was absolutely what I needed and has brought me so much love. So many people, but so many people that you've brought into my life. Our friends Mary and
Julie, Alicia.
yes, yes, and Alicia and Jessica and her whole group. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me when I stop and think about it sometimes. Just the domino effect of a simple decision, and I feel like you're probably experiencing that now because you made this decision on December 26th and you have just had this beautiful compound effect in multiple areas of your life. You're a reader now. Who knew? Physically, I know I've seen your transformation photos. So physically, I can see you were not in terrible shape before you started, but I've seen that you've just enhanced yourself. You've
Oh,
just elevated to an even more beautiful level. But it sounds like, too, that you are filling your own cup so that you can pour into others because it sounds a little bit like before you started this, you were starting to pour from a cup that had become almost empty.
I was in that hamster wheel,
Mm-hmm.
chasing my tail, and I was just filling everyone else's cup. And at the end of the day, like I was just exhausted, depleted. I had nothing else to give for myself, my husband. And when I just started this, like I said, 2 weeks in, I had it in the bag. I was like, this is living. I felt amazing. It was just like a breath of fresh air, weight lifted off my shoulders. And I just feel like I'm stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, all the things. And you know what? There's a way that Satan will get in the way and tell you these lies because for a second, before I was like fishing for my pictures to compare and put them together, I was like, I don't think I'd changed that much. That started creeping in my head. And I was like, I did lose some weight, and it really wasn't about the weight. I did lose some inches and some body fat. And notice I never posted how much weight I lost, how much body fat I lost, or inches. But I did give away 2 big bags of clothes that no longer fit me well.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah. And, we really have to pay attention to those voices that come in and just not to believe those lies because it was telling me you didn't change that much. But when I put those pictures together, I was like, oh my goodness. I told my friend, I said, my booty was so big. No, but it's firmer now. That's
Mhm.
a good answer. So, it
Yeah.
was funny. But when I look at those pictures, I see I see my confidence,
Mhm.
see my posture is different. In warming up to the idea of 75 hard, I had gotten a weighted vest, an
Mhm.
8-pound weighted vest, started wearing that, walking consistently. That was a game changer.
Oh, girl, I
Right?
know. I've got one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wearing it consistently for 30 days, I
Mm-hmm.
felt my posture was different. It was better. I mean, I didn't have terrible posture, but I'm at the computer a lot. I'm on the phone a lot
Mm-hmm.
working. And so I noticed that improved my core strength. And I had done a scan, my bone density improved. I'm like, what? This is golden. So you burn more calories. Why not? So that little things like that I was implementing. So when I was ready to go full on, I was ready for 75 hard.
Yeah, it does sound like you set yourself up for success. I love that you kind of just picked a date. Like you were like, Christmas is over, I'm doing it. So it wasn't like it was a Monday or the first of the month or whatever. You were just like, I'm going to start today. But I do think it really helps that you had a really great foundation before you started of knowing how you wanted to dial in. You
Yeah.
weren't focused on numbers on a scale, which I think is beautiful because I think we can all get too caught up in that and it can become problematic. But you were focused on eating whole, healthy foods, which is a really great place to start.
Yeah.
And you didn't, you know, allow the numbers to mess with your head.
Right.
You just really stayed focused on, we have another mutual friend, Crystal, used to always say this in our business. She would say, marry the process, divorce the outcome.
Yes.
And I feel like you just married the process. You were like, okay, I'm going to set myself up for success. I know what I'm going to do. And if I have to get creative and adjust, like doing the body weight exercises under your porch, you did.
Yeah.
Like you said, it doesn't have to be a perfect, like follow an exact plan. You can be creative and flexible and adapt because truly that's what life is about. I mean, nothing is ever going to be the same every day.
Right. Right. You nailed it right there. I'm so glad I did it. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad I listened to the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's not about just going 75 days and then stopping. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I put those pictures together to see how much change. I changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I changed a lot here and in my mindset. And it was just like, why would I stop?
Well, that's the thing. You mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to call attention to it is there's a lot of change that was happening internally. I see it in your smile and your posture, your confidence that you mentioned earlier. There's a lot of things that will never, be physically present for us to visually see, but that
Right.
have changed within you. And it's allowing you to continue and go beyond those 75 days.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you want to share I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but do you want to share any takeaways from the books that you read? Is there a quote that stuck out, or is there one that you would recommend reading first, or like an order to it?
You know, Diana's book, Diana Wallace, Healthy Body or Heal Thy Body, I was reading it before 75 Hard and I stopped on chapter 6. And I know I teased you in the beginning, but I'm going to spill the tea.
Okay.
I'm going to spill the tea about chapter 6. I stopped on chapter 6 and that book stayed on my nightstand for months and months and months. And then when I decided to do 75 Hard, I looked at that book. I'm like, okay, here it goes. Chapter 6. Diana shared that she was on her wellness journey and she hit a plateau,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she just couldn't get past it. Like she was eating all the right foods, doing all the things. She could not get past it. And I think we can all relate. If you hold unforgiveness
Mm-hmm.
in your heart, you can't move forward, right? You are basically, you're impersonating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have this ball and chain and you're walking around having resentment. I wouldn't say she said hatred, but I had hatred in my heart. And I thought I had forgiven certain things and people, including myself. There's some things I wasn't proud of, that I had done, experienced, and wished ill upon other people. Like that's wrong. But when I truly moved forward, reading chapter 6, and she has guided steps to moving forward
Mm-hmm.
and praying it out. Like there's prayers in there, the prompts. And I mean, it's amazing. And let me tell you, I sobbed big crocodile tears. I made the ugly face cry during reading this chapter. But you know what? The perfect timing was during 75 Hard. That book stayed on my nightstand for months and months before. It's just like I didn't want to open that chapter. I didn't want to dig into it. I didn't want to do the work. I just want to be mad. you know?
You're not alone in that. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're talking about this, Rosie. I understand why you were like, I want to hold it in because I want people to read the book. I totally understand and relate to that, but I'm so glad you're talking about it because I think this is something that women really struggle with. I'm sure men do too, but just
Yeah.
women that I've talked to, forgiveness is a big deal. Ashley and I did an episode, I don't know, it's probably been over a year ago now, where we talked about how forgiveness can be a practice
Yes.
because you think you've forgiven and then you realize, oh, I need to forgive again.
Yeah.
Because
I passed all that. I
Right.
thought I was past it.
Yeah.
And I seen that chapter. It was skimming through. I was like, "Ooh, no, I don't need to read that right now." And until certain things would creep in or something would remind me of the past or the past hurt and or something I had done that hurt other people, when you hold that unforgiveness and condemnation towards others or yourself, that's heavy.
Yeah, it is.
And God doesn't want you to hold on to that.
Right.
I had to lay it at the feet of Jesus and say, bless and release and pray over it and through it. And I got through it. I got past it. You can too. Get the book. Get the
Okay,
book.
I'll make sure I put it in show notes for sure. So you mentioned that reading was the biggest challenge. In summary, if you were going to just kind of put it in just to a few sentences, what would you say were some of the biggest lessons that you learned from 75 Hard?
Oh my goodness. Slowing down to speed up.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I'm not a great reader yet. I struggled in school because of my reading was not great. My comprehension was not great. Some of these books, I had the Audible with the physical book. Hearing it read out loud and reading out loud helped me so much with absorbing.
Yes, I've done that before too. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah. So you got to slow down to speed up forward, right? That was the biggest thing.
I love that. Well, what would you say to, as we're kind of wrapping up, to encourage anyone who wants to go for 75 Hard? Do you have any words of encouragement?
I will say, don't seek perfection. Don't try to be perfect because that's not going to happen. Be proud of all the victories, large and small. Be proud of drinking your water. Be proud of going to bed early. Be proud of moving your body. If that means 10-minute increments of getting up out of your chair and just walking or standing in place and doing squats and tapping your chair with your butt, give yourself those victories, like celebrate that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say they don't have time. You make time.
Yeah. We make time for the things that we love and the people that we love and the things that we want to do. This was so good, Rosie. Thank you so much. I have wanted to have you on for a long time. This just felt like the right time and the right topic. But thank you so much for sharing your story. And I have no doubt that you're inspiring others to do the same.
Oh, I appreciate you so much, my friend. And thank you for being my cheerleader and prayer warrior.
Oh, I love you so much.
I love you.
The Celebrating Women podcast wants to hear from you. Email us a voice message to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your story or the story of an incredible woman you know. Become part of the conversation on social media. Facebook.com/celebratingwomenpodcast. On Instagram, search Celebrating Women Podcast. The Celebrating Women podcast has been presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. Support the show for as little as $3 per month at celebratingwomenpodcast.buzzsprout.com or visit our show notes. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Celebrating Women podcast.